Hey YouTube, it's J.K. here, and we're bringing you another one. I'm a digital artist who likes to watch movies with the people, but today we're going to do a show, and that show is Silo. I'm a rapper. Okay, so we are on episode 4 of the review. Listen, I got coffee, because I don't think y'all know. First of all, I got in like 2:30 in the morning, first of all. Then I still had to watch the show. So I watched it. Then I still was like, you know what? Even though I'm tired, let me do my notes. Because if I do my notes at night, and in the morning when it's time, when I'm ready, I can just record and don't have to do the notes. The notes section takes a little while because I have to I watch it without any I don't like taking notes or writing things down when I'm watching because I just want to take it in as everybody else is taking it in. And then when I go back and I pretty much watch it on fast forward, it's on speed 2, and it's just like going forward. And I'm taking notes to remember like what happened. And there are things I don't realize when I'm watching that I realize in the second round. So it's a process, but it's definitely worth it. And I was thinking of a different way of doing it, but I was like, I kind of like this way, even though it's a little bit more tedious because it allows me to get a lot more out, and my memory is really horrible anyway. Before we get into it, I do have some awesome products. These are, first of all, I have these sticker sheets here. So these are available on my Etsy shop. I got the winter one, I got the fall one, and I got a Fruit Girls one. It's kind of springish, but not necessarily. These are great. I keep it open because I like to always add a little extra inside. And I have a lot of other stickers, but I like to show the top selling stickers. And right now, the number one selling sticker is this one right here. Is she not the most adorable? It's just a little black girl drinking a venti cup of coffee, of pumpkin spice coffee. And this one, although it's a little slow right now, as an overall, it's my best seller, and it's just pickles. It's a really good one. But I have a lot of good stuff there, so go to jcutt.com to get other merch like shirts and stuff, but you can also go to the Etsy shop through there, or you can go down to the link below. Okay? If you have not already, don't forget to like, subscribe, push that notification button, because we're going to keep bringing this stuff to you. Cue the music. I like saying cue the music, but I'm the one who has to cue the music later on. Okay, before we get into spoilers, I like to give my overall feeling, and then the ranking, and then we'll get into the spoilers, which is obviously the full plot. My overall feeling, confusion. Not in a bad way, but just certain things I was like, wait, what? Now, some things got a little clearer, and you'll see that as we go down this line, but some things was like, why you do that? Why are you doing that? Or why did that happen? Or what? Confusion. But that's not a bad thing, because that's sometimes what you like in a show, especially on episode 4. That's when you get answers but not get enough answers. So confusion is probably the best description for this one. And in my ranking, 9 out of 10. So obviously confusion was not a bad thing. 9 out of 10. This might be my favorite episode so far. Typically, episode 3 and 4 are usually like the episode, and then like 5 and 6 is like, okay, just get to the point, and then the last 2 is usually like the bangers. So the next 2 I'm expecting not to be that great, but they could surprise us. Okay, now we are in spoiler territory. Spoiler alert. Okay, so I'm going to be spoiling. Okay, all right. I definitely recommend watching the recap. The only reason why I recommend this one more than normal is because it came out earlier. So usually it's every Friday, but it came out on Wednesday last week. So that means it's been an even further distance of watching it. So I recommend you watching the recap. Don't skip the recaps. Recaps are really good because they remind you of things, not just from the season you're watching, but sometimes from previous seasons, because there might be something that they're going to bring forward in this episode or even the episode to come, and they need you to kind of remember a particular thing, and they'll put it in the recap. So I highly recommend not to skip recaps really at all, but especially if you're doing it the week by week thing. Now, if you're binging it, that's a little bit different because you're kind of watching it back to back. But if you're not binging it, I recommend you watching the recap. Okay. So I hope I remember my notes. This is going to be new because usually I do the notes and then I record. I did the notes last night and now I'm recording. So hopefully I remember what I wrote. Okay, so we start off with Solo and Juliette working together to build a way to breathe under the water. Remember, she found out that under the water, there might be some firefighter suits. And that could be a good source for her to get outside to get back to her silo. But it's like, I need a way to breathe. Like, I need a way to do this. So they're trying to figure out a system. And in the beginning, he has this very much like childlike personality, like he's very much a Peter Pan, like he never grew up, type of energy. Because I think it's the child from the beginning, which I think they're going to reveal to us, but I really think it's the child from the beginning. And if that's the case, that means he's been a child. He has no way to mature, right? Also, he might be a little bit on the spectrum. A little bit is kind of showing that. But anyway, he's talking about circuses, and at first you're thinking it has no value, but you'll see later on that it does. But he's talking about circuses and how elephants, use their tusks to breathe and blah, blah, blah. And that kind of give her an idea to use a certain pipe. And you start to realize throughout the show that Solo comes in handy with his innocence, if that's the best way of saying it. So then we cut to Shirley and Knox speaking about the names. So remember at the end of the episode of the previous episode, he was like, I think I know what these names mean down below. So he thought what I thought, which was, these might be founders' names. But as he started to look deep, when he was a kid, but now as an adult and can really read and understand, he realizes as he's looking that these are people blaming the mechanical every time there's a rebellion. Like they're kind of pointing out, like, what in the world? And he's like, but that's not really the issue. He's like, I don't understand. No, it's not not understand. He understood. He's just like, but why? Like, to cue her, like, why do you think that is? And she like, because we can shut this thing down. Precisely. Because we can shut this thing. She didn't say thing, but I'm going to say thing. We can shut this thing down. And which means they are afraid of us. So they rather come after us than to be on our side, which is crazy. I'm sorry, that's a coffee break. I probably need a little thing saying coffee break. I need a little thing. Maybe my little character needs to pop up. That little girl I just showed when I take a little coffee break. I'm sorry. I'm dying, y'all. I'm dying. Okay. And he's like, precisely. Like, that's what it is. So he's like, but for real, what do we really want? Like, what do we want? What do we want? And as I was watching, I literally said it at the same time. The truth. We want the truth. And that's exactly what we want the truth. That's what we want. It's less about Juliette, although we want to make sure she's alive. It's not really about Juliette. It's not about anybody. It's about what is going on for real. That's what this all comes down to. So Knox is like, all right, how about this? How about we have a meeting with the mayor? And she like, no. How about we have it? And I said this, the judge, because she's like, no, we know. Yeah. She didn't say this, but I felt like, don't go to the mayor because he's sneaky. Go to the judge. And they're like, look, we're going to go to the judge because she's really the one who got the power for real. And there's some truth to that. And they kind of, did they talk? They didn't really mention it here. Or maybe they did and I didn't really recognize. But basically they're like, let's go out, kind of see what's going on and come back in. Like, it don't need to be like we leave, but like, we know the suits kind of work. So let's get some suits, go out there, see what's going on. I want to see. And he's like, says something I never heard anybody say. I want to see the distance. Cause she was like, what do you want to see? Oh, that's later on. Okay. That's later on. See. But anyway, he said, I want to see the distance. So that's kind of what they're looking for. Like, can we get out there? Anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay. So then, Robert, he speaks to Mayor Bernard and he's like, I'm concerned about the fact that you got, cause he heard, or I don't know how he found out. I think that he was like looking at somehow he found out that the crew, I'm calling them the crew. The crew is the rebellion, but that's the crew. So he found out that the crew is coming up to speak to the judge and he's like, I don't know about that. So the mayor's like, I know you've been watching us, right? Because Robert's like, I know you and the judge is, kind of like connected. Because I know. And he's like, I know you've been watching us. You know what I mean? So there's some tension building up between Robert and the mayor because the mayor really don't really like Robert for real. If we really want to get there, he don't really want him, but that's who he got. And then Robert is becoming impatient with why is it that I'm doing all this work and not getting the recognition, and not getting the role, and not getting the power. I'm not getting what I'm supposed to be gotten that gave, right? I get it, but there's obviously something up the mayor's sleeve, and I think we'll find out in this season for sure. Okay, so we go back to Juliette speaking to Solo, and they're kind of just comparing because they left and went to this like school classroom area, and to get like stuff, and she also wanted to she wanted a chart, so she wanted a place where she can write some stuff down to kind of figure out like a formula to what I need to do here, and that's what led them to the school, the classroom. So she's kind of marking on the chalkboard. He's just going on and asking questions about their silo and his silo and what's the difference is. Oh, do you celebrate these things? Or we have these festivals. Do you have these festivals? And they have different things. And they're just kind of like talking that out. So this is where it started to get a little confusing. Cause then he starts speaking about like, all right, I used to sit next to this girl and I love the sweater and this and that. And Juliette like, wait a minute. How could you have been sitting next to her? She would have been in 12 years when this rebellion happened. So like that would answer that for me, that's the little boy we're talking about. But I'm not understanding why it was such a dramatic pause in that moment, as if he's hiding something even deeper. And that's what confuses me right now. And then she was like, and what about that blue eye? What's going on? What happened to your eye? Like, was that something to do with the rebellion? He like, we ain't talking about it. We ain't gonna talk about it. He just kind of walked away, and he's like, I don't want to talk about it. Actually, I want to show you something over here. He saw that piano, and we'll talk about that in a bit. So something obviously is not right. Something doesn't feel right with Solo. Like I can't tell if he's bad and holding something, or he's good and just holding something. But he's hiding something, and I'm like, what is it? Because we're sick of it. Anyway, so we cut back to Knox, Shirley, Martha, and Teddy. Teddy is the one that was doing the graffiti before, and then they arrested him, and then that little riot moment happened. So that's Teddy. So they meet Carla. So Carla is the friend of Martha. She's the one who had the tape. Remember, Martha in season 1 went to Carla to get the tape. That was when she first left. She first left out. Remember, she was in the basement for 20 years in her apartment house. Thingy, whatever. Her little workshop for 20 years. But then when she's about to go out, she like, I need to get that tape. Now, I don't know how she know about the tape. I still don't think we got that clear. But that's when she first left and finally went up those steps to meet Carla. So now, that's the little team. So basically, Knox, Shirley, Martha, and Carla about to go up. Teddy's going to stay behind. Teddy wants to go because he like, look, like what you about to have me do, we're going to talk about in a sec. This task you about to have me do, it's kind of like easy. Like, let me go with y'all. Like, and the car like, for real, I could stay back because I mean, like they older. So she like, I don't really want to do all this for real. But so I thought they was going to go, but that's not, I thought they was going to swap places by that energy, the way they cut, but that's not what happened. They all went. Teddy went to go do what he was supposed to do. Okay. So, then we cut to Robert and his wife. Now, as a character, okay, the wife is giving me everything. Like, she's gorgeous, she's sassy, she's strong. Like, she's a great character. But as a individual, I don't like her. I don't like her. Like, she's really angering me. Not the actor. Like, I like the personality of the character. I don't like her motives, because although I don't know, like, okay, basically she and Robert is speaking, and the thing is, the wife has always been like, I'm not understanding why you're not the shadow, and I get it from her perspective, But it's like, we got bigger situations going on than this shadow work. Like, but maybe she must know a little bit something deeper that makes her feel the urgency, because she keep pressing this man to become the shadow. And I think he wants it, but not as much as he just wants to please his wife, which I get it. But I don't know. So basically they're like, we not like, what's going on? So then the wife is like, we can get the judge impeached. Like, basically, if we remove the judge, you next, right? The judge is out the way, you there. So if you get the judge impeached, she don't got the same amount of power, and then you could be it's logical. But he like, I don't think nobody really want to impeach her. And she like, they don't need to want to. They need to just feel like they want to. So they like, we gonna stage it. Let's stage an impeachment. And I'm like, all this to be a shadow? Like, is it that dope? Like, I don't know. So anyway, then we cut back to Solo and Juliette. Now here's the thing. Solo is adorable, but he's so annoying. He is so annoying. He's annoying Juliette. The thing is, this is very much an extremely serious situation. It's an overwhelmingly extreme situation that they're all in, but that I think more specific that Juliette is in. She knows the gravity of what she has done by accident. She didn't mean to cause any of this, but she knows that her leaving can cause everyone else to die. So she's like, I gotta get back. And this is all that's on her mind right now. And you talking about elephants and circuses and this and that. Like it's like, boy, right? But the thing is, he's like Peter Pan. He's stuck in this like child state, and it's so that's what makes him so adorable, and the actor is just killing it. But at the same time, shut up, like shut up, please. So anyway. He's playing on this piano. She's trying to think. And she like, please, can you stop? And he like, all right, if you just come listen to me just one time. And she's like, okay. So she comes over and he's like, not my hands, look at my feet. And so she looked down and he's like, see, it has this air compression thing and we can use this to give you air, So he's this annoying like kid that has zingers. These little moments of like powerful information that can move the story along. And I like a character like that, but it's like, whew. So they're giving much brother and sister relationship. This is definitely older sister, younger brother relationship. And I love it. I do love that about the story for sure. Okay. So then we cut back to Judge Meadows. I just love me some Judge Meadows. Like she's one of my favorite characters. Judge Meadows, and she's reviewing Luca's sentence. So remember, Luca is the one in season 1, near the end of the season. I think the last 2 episodes. He wasn't there the whole time. And he was like kind of a little bit of love interest of Juliette, a little bit near the end. Not a strong one, but I think it's going to be. I really have a feeling. But he... At nighttime, when he would look out the window, I mean, it's a camera, but it is a camera out into the real world. And he would notice the stars in the sky. Mind you, they don't know what stars are. They don't know what they are. They just see them. But he's starting to put 2 and 2 together. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, I see the same stars every night. It's not like changing, or it's changing, but, it's a pattern. We know. So he's starting to pick it up. Like, so that's who he is. But this conversation, but he was the one who helped her with the situation with the drive a little bit. So he got arrested for that. And when you get arrested, you get sent to the mines. We still don't know what the mines are, or we still haven't seen the mines. We keep hearing it as this thing that's important, but only people who get in trouble have to go and do it. So it's given much, what's the show? Handmaid's Tales, and what do they call it? They have the fields, or I forgot what it is, but there's like a thing they have that's similar to that. I forgot what it is, but it's like that. So he requested to meet with the judge to like this is unfair. The amount of time that that I have to do this. Like, I don't think let's talk about this. So they're meeting, and he obviously does not want to go to the mines, but she's like, but you have to. And she's like, because no one, the mines are so important, but nobody wants to do it because it's dangerous and nobody wants to do it. So we have to find some system for people to do it, and it's the people that get in trouble. I mean, there's some logic there. It needs to be done. Nobody wants to do it, then make the people do it. But if you make the people do it, that's not fair. So people who get in trouble have to do it. It has some logic to it. So that's kind of like what she's saying. Like, I know you don't want to do it, and it's not fair that you kind of have to do it for your sentence. But at the same time, it is what it is. That's kind of what it is. So then he like, if you was gonna tell me no anyway, why would you even bring me up here for the sentence, like to talk about it? Like, what was the point of that? She was like, guards, get out. I was like, what's going on here? Guards, get out. And she was like, tell me about the lights in the night sky. And he's like, so he starts going in. I think so. I actually feel like we might be on this like ball that's rotating. Mind you, don't know. He put two and two together. I think we're on this ball, and I think we're rotating, and blah 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 blah. And then she goes all the way in. Those stars are billions of miles away. It's 200 billion. So whatever he says, she says, yes, we are on a globe, and that globe is revolving around the sun. And she just starts going in. With just bah 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 bah. So he's like, what? And he's like, so he starts asking questions. She like, all right, guards, take him out. He's like, wait a minute. And then she said, and I'll sentence you to 5 years in the mines. And at first I'm like, dang, what a punishment. But later on, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about how that's a little bit different than what I expected. So then right after he leaves, she's hearing people yelling. She opened up her window. They out there protesting on the steps with banners. Bam! Talking about we want you impeached. She's like, what in the world? What's going on here? Now, we already know that's obviously Robert and his wife setting some situation up. But obviously the judge doesn't know that. Sorry, a little bit of coffee break. So then we go to the crew again, and they kind of like just at a certain stair level. They've been, remember, it takes 20. Well, see, that's the thing, and this they didn't make clear. They say it takes 24 hours to walk the stairs, but going down. But what about going up? Because if it takes 24 hours to go down, going up got to be a 3-day journey, because we ain't walking all the way up like that. I need to take a break. But anyway, they're taking a break on one of the stairs in like a little garden area. And Martha and Carla just kind of was like, Carla says to Martha, like, first you wasn't out for 20 years. Now all I ever see you was out. Like, what's going on? And basically Martha was like, I feel like we wasted our time. Like, she's like, I wasted 20 years. What was it all for? And it was one of those type of conversations. And then, so they were kind of talking. Then we kind of go over and we see Knox and Shirley talking. Mind you, they're together just on separate sides of the garden. And Knox and Shirley is speaking with each other. And this is when Knox is like Shirley's like, what do you want to see? And Knox is like, I want to see the distance. Like, I want to see. And I know that. I know that feeling. Like, I want to see far. I get that. And then he's like, and I miss Juliette. I want to see Juliette. And Shirley didn't say it, but she misses Juliette as well. And she was like, I didn't even think you liked her. He was like, I didn't like her, but I respect her, and I know she was there. I know she was there for me, and that's true. Juliette she's a fighter, and she's gonna do what she needs to do to get it done. That's just the bottom line. And you can rely on her, and you can bet on her. You just can. And he knows that. And Knox is that way too. I think that's why. And so is Shirley. Actually, all the Down Deep is like, let's get to the core. All of Mechanical is like that. That's why they are mechanical, because everyone is relying on them and they get the job done no matter what. So that's just the bottom line. Okay. So then a little right after that, we have a deputy, not Hank, but just a deputy coming up with Sandy. Sandy is one of the co-workers, one of the receptionist workers in the sheriff's office. We saw her in season 1. I don't really know why she was even there. No offense, she's great, but why was she even there in this moment? I don't really understand. It was very like give her a part feeling, and I don't understand that. But they meet to escort them the rest of the way, and they like, we can walk ourselves. Like, it's just, we got this. And they're like, it's not even about that. Like, she was like, from this level down, you chilling. People, they on your side, they get it, they understand what's going on. But the upper levels, they not having it. The upper levels are not. They blaming y'all. They blaming y'all. They think it's y'all, and y'all. We need to protect y'all if we're gonna have this go all the way. Okay, so I'm already like, geez Louise, like, with no proof, nothing. People just be blaming anybody. So then we cut back to Solo and Juliette, and she hasn't gone down yet. They're almost getting ready to go down, and Solo's like, I want to check the vault. I think I didn't lock it. Right, just paranoid, and he's about ready to like leave her to go, and Juliette's like, no, calm down. You did, calm down. Like, he's obviously, what's it called, PTSD. Like, he's having an episode, but she calms him. But that was like a little bit of a, that's not good. Like, ooh, we got a problem here. So I was already like, what's going to happen when she get in the water? We'll talk about it. Okay. So then we cut to the mayor, and we see that he gets a message that people are impeaching or protesting for the judge to be impeached, and there were banners on the steps. He doesn't know it's staged, but that's what he gets, the message that happened outside of Judge Meadows' window. And Meadows comes to him kind of like, was it you? Like, what the? Because you always doing something. And he like, actually, this time it wasn't me. This time, that wasn't me. I don't know what's going on. And he's right. That was not me. I don't know. So then the mayor's like, why are you like agreeing to speak with the rebellion? Like with the, they're not calling it rebellion yet, but with the mechanical, like, why would you even do that? But Judge Meadows she know what she talk about. She like, well, I wasn't gonna. She explained that what they want is just to go outside and look around a little bit, come back in, like, let's, and then what she said to them was, what she said she was gonna say to them was, no, you can't, but let's create a committee. This was all going to be just a way to kind of calm people down. But let's create a committee to discuss plans, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, eventually that wouldn't last forever, but she don't care because she like, I'm about to go outside anyway. And I'm going to be long gone. Rather I'm alive or dead, I'm out. So either way, it ain't really going to matter for me. But that was just going to be a way to keep them at least at bay, as opposed to just sending them outside to look around, which could cause another type of problem. So then the mayor's like, okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Stop questioning her. You know what she doing? That's what I was feeling when I was watching it. So then he's like, why don't you come have dinner with me tonight? So she's like, for what? And he's like, well, your suit will be there and you can try on your suit. And she like, okay, I'll come to dinner. Fine. And then she explains about Lucas. She says, yes, Lucas is dangerous. And at first I'm like, dangerous? He's so like, he's a good guy. I don't understand. And I guess his knowledge of understanding without any like info to be that accurate is dangerous for the people that need to know nothing. For someone who doesn't need to know anything, for you to kind of get it on the nose that we're on an orb rotating and blah 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 blah. That's and then after she done told him all that, he's really could be a problem. So come to find out, she actually cut his sentence in half. So when she gave him 5 years, he actually had 10 years. So she actually reduced his sentence to 5 years. So then the mayor's like, why would you do that? She was like, well, just to seem fair, but for real, is he even gonna last a year in the mines? He like, you got a good point there. She like, he's not even gonna last a year, so what would it really matter? So then we cut back to Sheriff Paul and Deputy Hank, because they're like, so wait, where's the body of Cooper? Oh, it was took to the morgue. So they're like, all right, we're gonna go to the morgue because they got to investigate. Like, what's really going on? Let's see what's really going on. But when they get there, not only is Cooper's body not at the morgue, but neither is the other body. Because remember, I was like, I don't think he did. Remember, Cooper, when the guy threw the bomb thingy, and then he jumped out the way. I mean, tried to get him. When the guy shot him, he shot both him and the Cooper and the other guy. But Cooper died. But the other guy, they ain't show the body. They ain't show if he died or not. Obviously, he's not dead. I don't think he's dead. So then we go back to Juliette, and she gets in the water. Okay. At first, I'm like, why she got this metal thing? She tied the metal thing with a rope, and then tied the rope around her waist. And she drops the thing in the water. And I'm like, girl, where is you? But then it wasn't until I watched it the second time that I'm like, oh, duh, she can't swim. They don't know how to swim. So she like, at least if I have something that, because when you don't know how to swim, your body starts floating up, or you don't know what to do. So it's like, I need something to kind of keep me down. And then I got the air thing. So, because at first I was like, girl, what you doing? Okay. But when she got down, that little air pipe thing, which I'm like, why you ain't make that pipe longer? How long? Anyway, pipe couldn't make it super far. So she like, all right, I'm gonna get as much air as I can get. And then I'm gonna, go through the door. But when she got through the door that was under the water, the anchor got stuck. So now she's stuck. Now she, uh-oh. One time he was like, girl, well, I guess it wouldn't have made a difference. But I'm like, just go back underneath, push that door, lift up the thing. I know it's a lot, but thing is, we ain't never been in that much water. You panicking, you don't know. I get it. So she holding her breath. She trying to get her life, because she like, uh-oh, I'm about to die. She's about to drown. She about to drown. But she was able to get it out. She was able to get a thing, cut the rope to release herself. She was able to get out. She gets up, she knocking on these little lockers. Ain't no suit. You could tell she like, I'm about to give up on this. Finally, the last locker, boom, there's a fire suit. So that was very, very tense. Meanwhile, we cutting back and forth between her and Solo, who's starting to panic. Solo's starting to get antsy, like, oh my gosh, I think I gotta check the vault. I think he's starting to get antsy. I'm like, oh my gosh, mind you, this one, she under there drowning. He don't know she's drowning. But still, like, we see she's sitting there having a drowning moment, and he's sitting there worrying about the vault, and you're like, oh my gosh, he gonna leave her, not pumping the air, not doing what he's supposed to do. Oh my goodness. That's not what happens, but you feel that's what's about to happen. Okay? Soon as she come up, he like, I gotta go. I gotta check the locker. She like, look, just do what you gotta do, because I'm about to die right now. Okay? I got the suit. I'm just gonna lay here and get myself a breather. So then she gets up, she goes to where he is, and he's locked out the vault. And so he's like, oh my gosh, like he's putting in the code, it's not working. Puts in the code again, it's not working. So he's starting to panic. Because then he's like, if I do it a third time, it locks you out permanently. So he puts the code in, it works. And she's just like calm down, like you're gonna be all right. I can't. He goes into the vault. He's like, I can't do it. Okay. So we're like, boy, get it together. Okay. So then we cut to Mayor and the judge who's having dinner. Looks like the food looks delicious, like he really put his foot in the food, okay? The mayor poisons her. What? The confusion? I'm like, I mean, I felt it coming, but I just didn't want to believe it because I really liked the judge so much. I love Judge Meadows. So I didn't want her to die. So I didn't want to believe it, but I had a feeling that he's going. So he poisons her. She like, why? And he's like, I got to follow the order. I'm like, ugh, disgusting. Follow the what? Why? Who are these people? Why they got that much power over you? So now I want to know what's going on, right? So then she asks him about the hard drive. Mind you, she's not dead. She's just in the process of dying. She's been poisoned in the mushrooms. And she was like, what happened to the hard drive? And he was like, I destroyed it. And he's like, wait a minute, do you know something? She's like, I can't say it. I'm like, girl, you dying. You might as well just say it. That was what I was feeling. She's like, I can't really say. And he's like, well, she's like, well, on the hard drive, there was something on the hard drive about Salvador Quinn. And in 140 years when he was in IT. So I'm assuming I don't know who Salvador Quinn is. I don't know if he is the head of the rebellion. I don't know who he is. It said during the rebellion. So there was a rebellion that happened 140 years ago. Now I'm starting to question how long for real were they all in the silo. That's what I'm starting to get confused about. If you know in the comments, let me know. But he wrote a letter, and that letter, part of the letter was coded, but she knows the code. But she was like, I can't tell you, and I ain't going to tell you. And she didn't. She sure didn't. Which I don't think you deserve that. You just killed me. But it's weird because I thought she would be more angry at him doing this to her, but I think she was ready to die anyway. She's like, I'm going out. And if I die, she didn't say if I die out, but kind of like she was ready to die. She was ready to die. So I think this didn't really bother her much because she knew if she went out, how long was that suit going to last anyway? You know what I mean? Like, she knew she was going to die. So I think that's why she wasn't angry. And she mentions that 20 years ago, he asked her to be so I guess she never was officially his shadow. And when he asked 20 years ago, she said no. And she said, but she lied. She said, I would do it. She said it much prettier. She said, she didn't want to tether her to him for the rest of her life. She didn't want to be tethered to him, but she lied. She said she would do anything and be with him for, like, you could tell she loved him, but she said she realized he could never fully give himself to her. And that's because he's dedicated to the order, and she knew that, and that's why she didn't want to be a part of it. So she's starting to drift away a little bit, and she's like, can I see the cafeteria? In other words, can I see through the window just one more time? Like, can I see the outside just one more time? And he's like, no. And at first I was like, dang. But what he did, I think, was more beautiful. So he goes and he gets a VR headset, and he's like, do you know what this is? She's like, no. I want you to see. So he puts the VR headset on her, and it's a scene. At first I'm like, I want to see the scene, but that was smart. Don't let us see. Let us imagine what she's seeing. That was the most clever thing that she could do, that they did for the show. And it's of Costa Rica, and obviously she's so moved by what she's seeing, and it's really feeling, it's like paradise before she dies. It's a beautiful moment, and then she dies in his arms. It's beautiful, but it's also like, you really like forget the mayor. Like, now, if you really had any hope for the mayor, it's done after this moment because you killed Judge Meadows. So you know I'm livid, okay? You know I'm livid, very much so. So we cut back to Juliette and Solo, and remember, Solo's inside, and Juliette's just like, look, when I first left, I was terrified. And I was lonely. And I didn't really realize how she would feel lonely until she said it, because to us, there's nothing besides that silo. That's all she ever known. It's like she's in the middle of space by herself. And then what makes it worse, she goes to another silo and all these people are dead. how like separated and alone she must have felt. So for her to see another human alive in another silo, how much relief that was. And so she didn't say all that, but she just kind of is expressing how, boom. And then she realized, I'm talking to a child and I have to he's not a child, but I'm talking to a child. I have to tailor to his innocence. And she starts like, well, what was that elephant thingy or that thing with the long nose you were talking about? It was really lovely. And eventually he came out, was like, it's called an elephant. It was a very much movie moment, something you knew was going to happen, but it was still very lovely to see. Okay, so then we cut to the mayor who calls Robert in, and he's like, I need you to do something for me regarding Judge Meadows. So they didn't show us, they didn't show what he did, but we knew he knew what happened and that he's about to get in a deeper rabbit hole of this situation. Okay, so then we cut back to Sheriff Paul and Deputy Hank, and they start putting two and two together and like, wait a minute, that bearded guy, the one that got shot but didn't get shot to death, he's still alive. He got shot somewhere in his chest. He didn't get shot in the heart. Oh, wait a minute. He might still be, something ain't right. So I told you, I think these two are good. They're just in a system. So they have to be good in the system, and eventually they're going to have to break out the system. They're too good to they're good guys. So they're going to figure some stuff out and have to pick a side, and they'll pick the right side in the end. I'm sure. So that was just a little moment. We kind of know, all right, something about to go down for real. Something about to go down. So then we get back to the crew. Remember, they're being escorted, but they get stopped on the sets because the people protesting. Like, we ain't letting you. We not letting you see the judge because we know y'all the problem, which they are not, but they're saying that we know y'all the problem. They yelling. Okay. Knox look over at Carla like, gave her the cue. She go in her little bag. She take out a red ball. She dropped the ball. Bow off the cliff. It falls all the way down the mechanical. Boom, boom, boom. It's just a little plastic ball. It's gonna be all right. They like, that's the cue. They count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lights go out. Bam. Mechanical shut the lights off. Bow. Because if you really want to play games, we got the power. We got the power. If you really, really want to play games. Okay? And Knox is like, lights are off until we see the judge. Like, if y'all want to play games, we ain't turning the lights back on. So then the mayor comes out. He's like, can you just put the lights back on? We'll let you go see her. He like, she's not feeling well, but we can make you, so I'm already shocked because I thought he was going to be like, she ain't available. Goodbye. But he was like, she's not feeling well, but, so I'm like, oh, something ain't right. So they walk in and then he turns around and says, only you two. Talk about Knox and Shirley. Only you two. So I'm like, they about to die. It's done. They are strong ones. You let the old lady, nothing wrong being the old ladies, but they the old ladies. You let them stay out, and then you bring the two strong ones in. It's over. That's what I thought was about to happen. So they come in. Robert steps to the side. We see Judge Meadows dead with a knife in her chest. We know she ain't died from no knife. We know that. But obviously, Knox and Shirley don't know that, so they done set us up. So Knox is ready to fight. Knox is about to knuck if you buck, okay? Knox is ready to go, but Shirley like, no, stop. Nope, that ain't even gonna happen. That ain't even gonna work for us right now. Like, and Robert's just like, I'm just gonna sit here, cause it is what it is. So the mayor just like, I'm not stopping you from leaving. So that means, okay, he got a plan. He set them up, but it's like, I'm not holding you hostage. You can run. It's like, oof. When the villain says run, you better run. When they leave, Robert's like, are you sure? Are you sure you sure? And he's like, the silo has to handle it. Like, let the people deal with it, not the leaders. And that's probably something in the order. Okay, whatever. So as Knox and Shirley is running, they're like, Knox is like, oh, wait, we can't run. We can't run out No one knows what's going on. We can't run. If we run out, panic, what's going on? No. He said, we're going to walk until we can run. He like, we're going to walk, and then when we can run, we're going to run. Like, but we're going to have to start off with a walk, and then we can run. Okay? So, I wasn't going to mention this, but as they're walking out, then they meet up with Martha and Carla. They're like, don't run. Don't panic. They're like, we wasn't going to panic until you said that. So they're just walking down the street, down the steps. No one knows what's going on. So it's kind of calm. It's kind of quiet. They're just like, okay, they went in, they came out, whatever. And they just walking, which might have made it worse. I don't know which one's worse. The running, the walking was smart. It was wise. But it's bad either way. So then before Robert leaves out, Robert's like, the mayor's like, I know it was you that did that impeachment thing. I don't think he knew in the beginning. I think he put 2 and 2 together as well. And it was like, I know it was you. And because of that, you forced my hand. Like, I had to do that to the mayor, to the judge. I don't think he had to do that, but he felt the need to. And so he like, all right, do what you got to do. Go get him. So like, what Robert don't know is that made it worse. He's never going to become his shadow. Not that he said this, but this is my own conclusion. He's never going to become his shadow. Now he's angry and upset with you because of what he feels you made him do. You know, nobody made you do anything, but he feels that. So the resentment's there. You're never going to, you're just stuck. Now you're stuck in a role and you're stuck in obligation. And what I'm about to tell you he does puts him in the same category as the mayor. He goes outside. He does this whole speech. I know that you guys were upset with Mayor Meadows, but you know what? She was trying to have some heart and mind to bring the people together. And guess what? Because of that mindset, these two came in and killed the mayor. I keep saying the mayor. Killed the judge. Go get him, basically, is what he said. They running down the steps trying to get him, and then because of the angle, you could see them running, and you could see them run a few stories up. Chaos. He said that when he said the animals from mechanical. That's a rap. The animals, man. So yeah, that was a crazy episode. My predictions. First of all, a war is inevitable, right? It's going to happen. Nothing you could do about it. It's one of those things where a war could be stopped. Okay. Wait, before we go into that, I think the next thing is they're not going to make it all the way down. You can't run all those steps all the way down to mechanical. They're going to have to hide for a moment. They're going to have to hide, and then they have to communicate. They have to hide and try to talk to downstairs some type of way. Let them know, yo, they're coming. Because even if they hide in the level, they're going to keep running down to mechanical. It's not even about the 4 that ran away. It's about mechanical to them. Upper level is upset with down deep. So no matter what, they're going to have to go down there. They're going to go all the way down there to fight. But they need to be warned. They need to know. And so they're going to need to hide and communicate. That's what I think they need to do, the 4 that just ran away. That's just number 1. When it comes to a war, I think what will stop that would be Juliette. I think Juliette coming back might calm things down. At first, I thought it would cause more trouble, but because of the rage that everyone is at, with her coming back with some answers, it might unify this silo, and then they have to come up with a way to get out and figure out what's really going on as a larger group. I feel that's the direction that can go. Because there's obviously something deep going on. You got to get that mayor out of there. You got to get Robert out of there, so they're not going to make it. And this is just future prediction. I don't know if it's going to happen this season. It might even be next season. But I think there might be a close war, and then Juliette appearance might shift what that means because she's coming with new information. So I think that's really important. I have a feeling Solo's going to die. I have a feeling she's going to die. I don't know when. It's probably going to be an honorable thing. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be sad. But I don't think Solo's going to make it. I don't know why. And I don't know what Solo knows. I don't know what he knows, what he's hiding. I don't know. And my last question and prediction, well, I have no prediction, but my last question really is, who is Salvador Quinn? Who is that? What is, are we going to get a backstory? Are we going to get another flashback? I'm weird about flashbacks. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. It always feels like it takes me away from the story, but yet they're so important for stories. So as much as I don't know if I really want a flashback, I think we might need one for Salvador Quinn. Like, who is he? What's his power? Why did she bring him up before she died? Why was that so important to her? Talking about Judge Meadows, so I don't know. Okay, sorry, this was a long one. I can see why writing it and recording right afterwards is better, because I keep all the information. So we're gonna try that. Look, this is look, y'all learning with me, because I never did a show review breakdown with y'all. Still not on time. I don't know, but remember, go check out the previous ones first. It should be in the playlist, so go ahead and watch those ones, and then come on over here. Well, if you're already here, you probably already watched them, but go ahead and watch those so you can be up to date. And yeah, that's about it. If you have not already, don't forget to like, subscribe, push that notification button, because we're gonna keep bringing this stuff to you. That's it.